Nancy Pelosi breaking her silence after the violent attack on her husband, Paul, at their San Francisco home.
Yesterday morning, a violent man broke into our family home, demanded to confront me, and brutally attacked my husband, Paul.
There's a lot more questions.
There's a lot of questions.
We do not know all the information.
No.
I mean, we obviously hope Paul Pelosi's okay. That's the bottom line of the whole thing. But doesn't add up.
Now, if we go back to this specific incident, listen. I have a lot more questions than answers.
An assault on potentially on a member of Congress's property, on her husband, and all of this, it doesn't add up.
Yeah.
What's up, everybody? Major Retired Richard Ojeda here. And if you had any hope or faith in Fox News to pursue some decency, my apologies if this will be the least offensive thing that you hear today in regards to the attack on the Pelosi home.
Okay, this story with Paul Pelosi just doesn't add up. Is anyone else seeing something really wrong here?
When this news broke and the suspicions about the attacker's motive started to become a little more clear, while still assuming some things but not all, it was evident that this attack would not really be taken seriously by the right wing.
It looks like Paul Pelosi was assaulted by his late night male visitor who was wearing nothing but underwear at 2:30 in the morning with a hammer after being caught by the police, who were called by the housekeeper who didn't know that Paul Pelosi had a visitor.
Why do I say that? Look at every other attempted crime or threat that has occurred in the last few years. It's used as a springboard to talk about more right-wing lies. Even in this clip, when they are dropping those infamous seeds of doubt on cases of extremism, they have to bring up crime. And what do they do with the stats on crime? They will blame it on the people like Nancy Pelosi and Joe Biden. And while the attacker and the motive is still under investigation and not completely tied into a violent political rhetoric, let's not forget that this will pass just like January 6th and be treated the same.
This suspect has ties to writing about QAnon and COVID conspiracies. But when he lived in Berkeley, he also has ties to an address there that had slogans of a completely different kind.
Well, that's right. And I think anyone trying to connect this guy in any way to a political party, to any other person, you can't do that.
Sir, clearly you haven't done any research into this gentleman. I read his blog. I read his own words. And I can assure you that there was nothing Democrat about anything that he posted on the internet. It was mostly white supremacist and like COVID denying stuff, with a healthy bit of anti-Semitism, racism, and all of the usual red flags for the Republican Party. Painting this man as some type of Democrat because once upon a time he may or may not have been a nudist is ridiculous. And let's stop pretending like Democrats are the extremists when it's repeatedly election denying MAGA Republicans that have been attacking and carrying out these acts of domestic terror.
At this point, it's as stale as the thoughts and prayers we get in the aftermath of school shootings. It's time and time again, report the bare minimum on the attack, and then Fox will tell its viewers that they shouldn't believe any other outlet because they are uncovering the hard facts. It is basically as if they found the person says out loud that they were radicalized by Fox News, they would look bewildered and offended and act as though they have not tied Nancy Pelosi to almost every single thing that they tell their viewers to be angry about. And if it's not Pelosi, it's Adam Schiff or Chuck Schumer or whoever Donald Trump points his disgusting little Vienna sausages at and blames for the downfall of American society. It's sad but mind-numbingly predictable at this point. While you will find that they attempt to do a little CYA with their thoughts and prayers for the Pelosi family, they will also happily entertain any unhinged conspiracy theories that come out of this attack as well. And herein lies the danger. The more that these right-wing channels and sites of social media outlets allows for the normalization of this kind of thing, the more we will see it. So that when these things do happen, people like Marjorie Trainwreck Green can sit back and say she disavows violence, but that video of her calling Pelosi to be tried and executed for treason is still up online for now. But they normalize that. They have coddled the idea of punishing your political enemies by death because you don't love Trump like they do. Then they can't possibly be real American. Meanwhile, they fully stand behind entering into a new era of political divide that results in violence. That is who Fox News is, and you won't hear it change anytime soon unless there's real, tangible change in how we handle the rise of right-wing extremism, and that's a fact. Sappers clear the way, airborne all the way.